Hi everyone, I'm just going to try and do a preview of what's coming up this weekend, which is the 7th and 8th of December. I'm not sure I'm going to be anywhere this weekend. There is a Southeast Inter-Counties cross country on Saturday at Croydon, but looks like I might have to be looking after a couple of dogs. So looks like I might miss that. Also on Saturday, if I get onto the main event, there is the English Schools Cup final, cross country cup final, which is up in Leeds, and that's on Vinco Runner Space, but you need a subscription to be able to watch that. But the main event I think most people are very interested in are the European Cross Country Championships, which are in Turkey on Sunday, and they're actually being shown on the BBC Red Button, channel 970, if you've got Sky. I think it might be, as it was last year, on the European Athletics YouTube channel, but maybe you want to check on that. The races are between 11 o'clock and just after 2 o'clock local time in Turkey, but that means they're between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. On UK time. Under 20 races first, then the mixed relay, mixed in terms of two male and two female in that race over 1,500 metres. Under 23s and then seniors. Under 23s go over 6k, seniors over 7k. So you probably know by now there's been quite a lot of talk about that and how short some of the races are. The under 20s, I think just 4.5k, something like that. And just going through each race, start with the men. Senior men. Last year, it was Shrub from France won, from Meer from Norway, and then Hendricks from Belgium. Hugo Milner was fourth last year. Callum Johnson, who was maybe controversially not picked this year, even though he was sixth in the trial, was the Great Britain second scorer last year in 23rd. And Zach Mohammed, who was picked instead of Callum Johnson, finished 27th, and they were the scoring team for the Great Britain team that finished 5th last year, with Belgium, France and Norway being the medal winning teams. And of course this year the likes of Jakob Ingebrigtsen are down to race, Cripper and others. So yeah, it will be, I think Belgium look pretty strong with Isaac Kameli, Robin Hendricks and Heymans in their team, but they've only got 4 entrants. You can put 6 in. Italy have got Cripper, France Shrub, Norway have got Jakob, and interestingly Philip Ingebrigtsen's entered, plus Myra from Norway, who was, as I say, a medalist last year. So yeah, very interesting team event with 3 to score, always so dependent on one having a blinder or somebody having a bad one. British team, BT Cross, Leonard, Zach Mohammed, Milner and Tarragano, who won the trial. So there we go on that. Under 23s, last year Will Barnicoat, who was second in their trial this year, won from Brest from France, and Matt Stonia, who's, I think he's announced he's not going to do any more cross country. He was third last year. The third Great Britain scorer was James Kingston, who was promoted into the team this year, but having raced at Liverpool and been unwell. He races, as I say, Great Britain won last year from France and Norway. And the Great Britain teams, Barnicoat, Daffyd Jones, James Kingston, David Stone, Malloy and Rushman are the under 23s. Axel Van Christensen, who won the under 20s last year, he's moved up to under 23, as is Nick Griggs from Ireland, so expect them to feature, both really, really good racers. Under 20s last year was Christensen, Laros and Griggs, who were the first 3, and 2 of those are in the under 23s, whereas Laros is still in the under 20s. Last year Great Britain were 5th through Mills. No, Mills was 5th. Dover was 6th, and Rowan Neal Ingram was 13th. It was Ireland, Great Britain and Spain last year in the under 20 men. yeah, not much more to say. I'm interested to see how George Cootie goes. He was well inside the top 20 at the NCAAs in America, same week, same day as Liverpool. He's in the under-20s, going for Great Britain. And yeah, how would that translate to perhaps similarly dry but much shorter course in Turkey? Senior women's, last year Grovedal from Norway won by 45 seconds from Batacletti, who got the silver medal in the Olympics at 10,000. Then Abby Donnelly got third, and she helped the Great Britain team to the win from Spain and Belgium. Donnelly third, Jess Warner-Judd, who didn't make the team this year, was fifth, and Izzy Fry, who has made the team, was 10th. I say Batacletti and Grovdal perhaps amongst the favourites there, but you just never know at this level who's going to be on form at this time of the year. Under 23s, if you remember, Megan Keith, who hasn't featured at all this winter, she was a runaway winner of the European Under 23 title last year, and she helped with Great Britain get the gold medals with Alex Millard, who was 11th, and Eloise Walker, who was 15th. Alex Millard was 20th, I think, in the NCAA cross country. The team went Great Britain, Germany and Spain. Megan Keith won from Monanen from Finland and Blomqvist from Finland. So they might feature in this year's championships. And the under-20s, we see the return of Ines Fitzgerald, who won the European Championship last year for Great Britain and helped Great Britain to the team gold, with Jess Bailey being 8th and Lizzie Weltstead in 8th. Last year, Fitzgerald won from Thorgerson from Denmark and Lecory from France. GB, Germany and Sweden were the 3 team medalists. And I should say the women's team, senior women's teams, Kate Axford, Abby Donnelly, Izzy Fry, Jess Gibbon, Caris Hughes and Poppy Tank is the final one. And the under 23 women is Anderson, Craig McFeely, Gadchi, Waldman, Willis and Wilson. So there you go. I'm not familiar with some of them, as perhaps I should be. Then we got the relay, which is, say, 2 men, 2 women. Great Britain got third last year behind France and Netherlands through Josh Lay, who returns in the team this year, having won the trial for the 2nd year in a row. Beth Morley, Adam Fogg and Kai Malanga, but none of those are in the team this year. Because we got Tyler Billiard, Maddie Debman and Elise Thorner joining Josh Lay in the relay team. And that's about it, really. As I say, main reason for coming on here is to tell you when you can watch things, and it's on BBC Red Button, Channel 970, Sunday morning, quite early Sunday morning, so you can plan your weekend. It also would say, for some, the most important fixture of the year is on, which is the Oxford versus Cambridge varsity match, which features 8 runners from each university competing against each other. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the Europeans. It will be very interesting. There is a really good review or preview on the Sunday podcast, goes into a lot of depth on this and their views on who's going to feature. So worth a look at that. But that's my take on the European Cross Country Championships.